it's the tutor here. Today I'm going to be going over every single Final Fantasy IX card that is in the new Magic the Gathering and the Final Fantasy crossover Universes Beyond set. And we're going to be starting off with mono white cards. First we have Stiltskin Moogle Merchant, which is card 3 of 53. And then you have Albert Steiner, 2 costs, legendary creature, human knight with lifelink. Albert Steiner gets +1/+1 for each equipment you control. And you can find these 2 cards in these sets right here. Next, we got Crystal Fragments. It's a 1-cost artifact equipment. Equipped creatures get +1/+1. And you can spend 7 to exile and return it. Exile this equipment, then return it to the battlefield, transformed under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery. It costs 1 to equip. And when it's transformed, it becomes a Saga, 4/3 flying. Prevent all damage that would be dealt to creatures you control this turn, and then tap all creatures your opponents control. Then you have Stiltskin Moogle Merchant, legendary creature Moogle with lifelink, and you can spend 2 to tap it, and target opponent gains control of another target permanent you control. If they do, you draw a card. So let me know what the Moogle Merchant is in the Final Fantasy IX. Are they important? What about Albert? Is he important to the game, or if he's just kind of a nuisance? He looks kind of like a nuisance in my opinion, but just let me know, because I have not played the Final Fantasy IX games. You're Not Alone. It's a 1-cost instant. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. If you control 3 or more creatures, it gets +4/+4 until end of turn instead. And you can find it in here. Then you have a alternative artwork for Stiltskin Moogle Merchant. You can basically find it in everything. Next, we have a different artwork for Crystal Fragments, and an extended art for Albert. Here's what he looks, Alexander looks like. You can find these 2 cards here. Next, we have Beatrix, Loyal Guard, 6 cost, legendary creature, human soldier with vigilance. At the beginning of combat and your turn, you may attach any number of equipment you control to target creature you control. And then you have the extended art for Stiltskin right there. And you can find both of these cards in collector boosters, bundles, and gift bundles. Over on this side, you have Beatrix Loyal General again. This is just the default, which you can get in starter kits in the MTG Arena wildcard. And then you have Garnet Till Alexandros the 17th, which is also known as Lower Run of the Third Path, legendary creature, human artificer with vigilance. When Garnet Till Alexandros 17th enters, destroy up to 1 target artifact or enchantment, and then you and target opponent each draw a card. You can find these 2 cards here. Next, we're on to blue. You have Cargo Ship. It's a 2-cost artifact vehicle with flying vigilance. And you can tap to add a colorless. Spend this mana only to cast an artifact spell or activate an ability or an artifact source in crew 1. Then you have Prime Vista. It's another legendary artifact vehicle with flying. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, the Prima Vista becomes an artifact creature until end of turn. And you can find these 2 cards here. I do like the Prima Vista, looks really cool. Next, we have Sleep Magic, 1-cost enchantment aura, enchant creature. When this aura enters, tap enchanted creature. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during its control's untouched tap. When enchanted creature is dealt damage, sacrifice this aura. So you basically are going to want your opponent to deal damage to the creature in order to get it to, unsleep, basically. Next, we just have a wizard token. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent, and then cornered by Black Mage, it's a 3-cost sorcery. Target opponent sacrifices a creature of their choice, and create a 0/1 Black Wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell this turn. Non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent, and this is the token, obviously. You can find these cards here. Next, we have Dark Ritual, also known as Darkness of Eternity. Of course, it's just a 1-cost black. You can add 3 black at instant, so that's pretty neat. Next, we are on to Mono Red. Starting off with Blazing Bomb. It's a 1-cost creature, elemental. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, if at least 4 mana was spent to cast it, put a +1/+1 counter on this creature. And as blow up, you can tap it to sacrifice it, and it deals damage equal to its power to target creature, activate only as a sorcery. Fire Magic. Fire, spend 0 extra, and it deals 1 damage to target creature. Spend 2, deals 2 damage to target creature, and then spend 5 to deal 3 damage to target creature. It's a little bit of flexibility right there, depending on what you need. Next, we are going to have a Freya Crescent. It's a 1-cost legendary creature, Rat Knight. With Jump, during your turn, Freya Crescent has Flying. You can tap it to add a red mana. Spend this mana only to cast an equipment spell or activate an equip ability. You have Queen Brahine, legendary creature, human noble with prowess. Whenever a Queen Brahine attacks, create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Of course, you can spend these or get these cards in these sets. If you guys are still watching this, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. I want to get to 250 subscribers by the end of this year, and I know we can hit that milestone. I've gotten a lot of incredible support from you guys so far, so thank you guys so much. Getting back right into it, we have Unexpected Request. It's a 3-cost sorcery. Gain control of target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. You may attach it an equipment you control to that creature. If you do, unattach it at the beginning of the next end step. Then you have the extended art for Freya Crescent. And we also have the extended art then for Queen Brahine. You can get that at Collector Boosters Bundles and Gift Bundles. Next we have Ragavan Nimble Pilfer, but it's basically Zidane Tribal. And legendary creature, human or monkey pirate. Whenever Zidane Tribal deals combat damage to a player, create a treasure token, exile the top card of that player's library until end of turn. You may cast that card as dash 1 or spend 2 dash. Next we have the art card for Quina Q Gourmet, and then you have a frog token. I like the art of that token. Looks pretty cool. Oops, my apologies. All right. Next, we have Airship Crash. It's a 3-cost instant. Destroy target artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying, and has Flayclean 2. And then here's Quina Q Gourmet. It's a legendary creature, Q. If one or more tokens would be created under your control, those tokens plus a 1/1 green frog creature token are created instead. And you can spend 2 to sacrifice a frog, put a +1/+1 counter on Quina. Nice. I'm not sure how many frog cards there are in Magic the Gathering, but I'm sure there's quite a few. And here's the extended art for Quina. And you can find those in Collector Boosters, Bundles, and Gift Bundles. Now we're going into the fun stuff. Of course, starting off with Vivi or Knitter art card. It's 17 out of 15. And then you have Zidane, Tantalus Thief art card. We'll be getting to Vivi in a second because I know a lot of people love them. Black Waltz number 3. It's a 4-cost black-red legendary creature wizard with Flying Death Touch. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Black Waltz number 3 deals 2 damage to target opponent. Then you have Choco Seeker Paradise. It's a 4-cost card. Whenever one or more birds you control attack, look at that many cards on the top of your library. You may put one of them into your hand, then put any number of land cards from one of them onto the battlefield tapped, and the rest into your graveyard. And as landfall, so whenever a land you control enters, Choco gets +1/+0 until end of turn. You can find these 2 cards here. Next, we have Garnet, Princess of Alexandria. Legendary creature, human noble cleric with lifelink. Whenever Garnet attacks, you may remove a lore counter from each of any number of sagas you control. Put a +1/+1 counter on Garnet for each lore counter removed this way. And then you have Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. Legendary creature, human mutant wizard. At the beginning of your end step, create a tapped 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. Then if you control 4 or more wizards, transform. And this is what the transform is. If wizard is controlled would deal damage to a permanent or a player, it deals double that damage instead. You can find these 2 cards here, and next ones are going to be a banner. And of course, it's a Vivi or Knitter, a fan favorite, legendary creature wizard. You can spend 0 to add X mana in any combination of water and or red, where X is Vivi or Knitter's power. Activate only during your turn and only once each turn. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on Vivi or Knitter, and it deals 1 damage to each opponent. So that's a really powerful effect. Next, you have Zidane, Tantalus Thief. Whenever Zidane enters, gain control of target creature an opponent controls until end of turn. Untap it. It gains lifelink and haste until end of turn. Whenever an opponent gains control of a permanent token from you, you create a treasure token. You can find these cards here. All right, next we have just the extended art for Vivi Ornanter and Kuja Norm Sorcerer. Cool artwork. Let me know what Kuja does. And of course, if Vivi is a good guy, bad guy, I'm not sure. Looks cool. Next, you have the borderless art for Zidane. And we have Sid Timeless Artificer. If you guys haven't been watching the entire series, Sid Timeless Artificer is in every single set it appears, at least so far. And it has the same exact effect, but it has different artwork. It's really cool. Artifact creatures and heroes you control get +1/+1 for each artificer you control and each artificer card in your graveyard. A deck can have any number of cards named Sid Timeless Artificer. You can get these two cards here. Extended art for the Black Waltz #3, and then the extended art for the Choco's Secret Paradise. You can get those cards here. You have the extended art for Garnet, Princess of Alexandria, Collector Boosters Bundle Gift Bundles, and the extended art for Kuja, Genome Sorcerer. And you can get that also in the Collector Boosters Bundle and Gift Bundles. Extended art for Vivi Ornanter, and then the extended art for Zidane, Tantalus Thief. You can find those, of course, in the Collector Boosters Bundles and Gift Bundles. Next, you have the border list for Kuja, and then Zidane again. And you can only get those cards in Collector Boosters Gift Bundles. Next, we have Inala, Archmage Ritualist, but it's Kuja Mage Manufacturer, Legendary Creature Human Wizard with Embrace, I believe, or Eminence, sorry. Whenever another non-token wizard you control enters, if Kuja is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do create a token that's a copy of that wizard, the token gains haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step, tap 5 untapped wizards you control, target player loses 7 life. You have only 2 artifacts, but they're the same card. Excalibur 2, it's a 1-cost legendary artifact equipment. Whenever you gain life, put a charge counter on Excalibur 2. Equipped creatures get +1/+1 for each charge counter on Excalibur 2, and it has equipped 3. You can get the borderless right here. Next, we're on the land, so we're nearing the end. Let me know what you guys think of Final Fantasy IX cards. Obviously, Vivi is a powerhouse and a fan favorite, so let me know if you guys pulled Vivi from the pre-release or anything. Like this forest art right here, and then Lindblom Industrial Red. It's an instant adventure. Create a 0/1 black wizard creature token with whenever you cast a non-creature spell, this token deals 1 damage to each opponent. And that was the card I just showed you. It looks like you can find this in the precons. And I believe we're on to the final card. It's just a forest, and you can find this in the precons. So thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys have a good one. Look forward to Final Fantasy X.